At the AI Readiness Project, we believe that in this remarkable age, AI isn't the main character. You are. While the tech is racing ahead, it's the humans who learn to harness AI mindfully that will win. Each week, we meet remarkable people doing just that. Join Kyle Shannon, tech leader and AI instigator, and Anne Murphy, fundraiser and AI consultant, as they lead the conversation about staying grounded, growing smarter, and leading with what makes us human.
Good day to you, Anne Murphy.
Good day, dear sir. We've been watching Bridgerton. My liege.
Oh, yes.
Good day, my liege.
Yes. Yeah. What did my wife said to me last night or the night before? She's like, "Why don't you just watch Bridgerton?" I'm like, "Because I don't want to."
Yeah, there's that.
There's that. I mean, I've seen it, just by walking by the living room enough that, I've seen enough of it that I've seen it all.
I'm ready to get sucked into something. And it's like a soap. Like you just can't
stop. It's totally
stop.
like a soap. It's totally like a soap.
That's been good for
totally
me.
a soap. It's a well-produced soap opera. Yeah, how you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? What's going down? Just
also,
still
Shonda
got it.
And the music. You gotta love the music in Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all pop music that they put into.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. See, I gotta pay attention.
See. Don't knock it.
We got some love from Gareth. What's happening, sir? Good to see you.
Gareth with one of his great shirts. Do you know about Gareth's shirts?
No.
Let's share a listener story. Gareth, who, by the way, I mean, good guy discount. What a good guy.
He's a great guy.
Every time. Good guy discount.
And talented and like geeky good, techie.
Geeky good.
He's got a lot going on.
Mustachioed. And among his many like expressions of himself is his shirt collection. It's a very fine brand that I don't remember the name of. He'll probably drop into the chat, hopefully. And they're not like avant-garde. They're not big. They're like just little subtle, like his little, you can tell. And they're just well made. And I think he's got like 68 of them.
Results. Is that the name of the brand?
Might be.
RSVLTS.
Oh, that one. That's it. That's right.
That's it. All right.
You have an RSVLTS.
No, I've got what's his name? Something Murphy. I don't know. These fancy shirts.
Yeah, you have good shirts.
Yeah, I got good shirts. Not by my buying. That's spousal augmentation.
Kathy get them for you?
Yeah. Yeah, she does. Yeah, just every now and then a new one will show up and I'm like, okay, I don't want to know what it cost.
Does an old one like walk off when you get a new one?
No, they just keep collecting. Okay. There are some that were bought at when I was of a different scale.
Size. Oh, scale.
Yes.
Scale is a really good way to put it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Scaling. It doesn't have to be up, it doesn't have to be down. Not scaling down in any area. So, well, how you doing? How are you?
I'm doing good. I've got a lot of new ideas percolating, and
no, you do.
One of my predictions of 2026 is starting to come true. And I had a feeling it wasn't going to make me feel great. And it's not, which is we're really starting to see tech that is making it clear that things are about to change. And a lot of people are going to be impacted. I think that the first 3 years here, we've had kind of a bit of a buffer zone where those of us that are paying attention can kind of see what's coming. Yeah. And 2026 feels like the year where people are going to look at it and go, oh, it's here.
Oh, it's here. Oh, hundo.
And like Seed Dance 2.0, new video model out of China, looks really, really good. Who knows if it is? We'll have it in 2 weeks or something like that. But the 𝗪𝗏 thing with the autonomous agents that are proactive and taking, just doing things on their own. Jobs are going to start shifting. Jobs are going to start being cost. And like, I think 2026 is the year where we're in it. We're in it whether we want to be or not. So I think that what we talk about here, this idea of AI readiness, I think it's shifting actually. I think being curious was enough for the first 2 years. I think last year you kind of had to be curious and you had to kind of level up your game. And I think this year is about discovering who you are and what you value. Which I know sounds weird.
No, do you remember my 3? All you need to be quote unquote good at AI is a curious mind, a willingness to be vulnerable, and community. That is literally all. Because once you go down the category of vulnerable, that's where you can start going, who am I? What do I stand for?
What do I stand for? Yep.
Like, what do I stand for is like maybe the question of the freaking year.
I think it's what do I stand for? What are values? Is it?
My question.
What do I stand for?
For the year.
Mine's
what do I
similar.
Stand for?
Mine is, I can't narrow it down to one. Liz Miller-Gersfeld's question of what do you want more of is a really interesting one. But for me, it's kind of, who am I? What are my values? And what's the difference I want to make in the world?
Yeah.
So we're in the neighborhood. We're in the same neighborhood.
We're in the neighborhood as per usual. What do we have in the comments? And we want to let the people know.
Oh yeah.
That the treat that they are in for today is that Kyle and I have the opportunity today to workshop some of our ideas live.
Exactly.
And with our amazing extended family in the chat.
Exactly.
And some questions that I've been knocking around in my brain about the great repurpose.
Yep.
And I've got this little thing, this little gem called the Big Six that I've been working on.
Oh, nice. I like its state of emergence. It's perfect.
Well, keep in mind the whole entire business plan, quote unquote business plan used lightly, of the 𝗪𝗍𝗄𝐿eads AI brand was literally on a napkin. Thank you very much.
Very good. Very good.
So now we've upgraded.
It's solid. It was in the I just read the book Turning Pro, and one of the things in it, the guy was talking about his mentor, and his mentor, he was talking about writing and all the stuff he needs to be able to write. And his mentor said, isn't it amazing that God made the yellow legal pad exactly the right length to write the entire outline of a novel? I thought that was really good. You don't need much room to have big ideas.
In fact, you're better served. But it's obviously it's a mindset thing. Like that.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who's that quote by? I would have written a shorter letter, but I didn't have the time.
Exactly. Yeah. Short is hard. Yep. Simple is hard. Simple's really hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got the full hour. We don't have a speaker today. So our speaker was going to be Sebastian.
He'll come back.
Sebastian 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Yep. He'll come back. So we've got some time. So I figured it would be good to just, chat about what's going on, which we're doing a bit. And then, we can start unpacking, start kicking around some of these ideas because these are new. So I launched the Great Repurpose 10 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's still new. Your big six is still
My
new.
big
And
six is
being
last
born.
night. Last night. It
Beautiful.
finally, but it's been talking to me for 2 years.
Wow. Beautiful.
Mhm.
And it looks like 𝗪𝗏 has an app that's tied to some of the stuff we're talking about, which is super cool. And then if anyone on the in the audience has comments, post them in there. We're happy to answer any questions. We can do this
Yeah,
kind of
chatting
AMA
the
style as
chat.
well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's all just chop it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you want
So
to
I have
talk
a
about? Where do you want to
question.
start? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to drop right into it, Kyle.
All right.
I want to go right to the belly of the beast with the great repurpose.
Okay. What the hell is it?
Yeah. No, walk us through it a little bit.
Okay. So I think it's very clear that there are going to be job disruptions. And lots of people are talking about, will AI take jobs? Will it not take jobs? It's absolutely going to take jobs. Now, I think long term, it will also produce jobs. But we're in a 5-year transition. And so the probably the next 3 years are going to be pretty eventful. Like we're going to have to deal with some stuff. We're going to go through some stuff. So I think a lot of people are looking at the economic side of this, right? And they're looking a bit at the personal side of this, but it's more through an economic lens. It's like people are going to lose their jobs. What will they do? How will they make money? We're talking about UBI. We're talking about, jobs. Where are people going to work? All that sort of stuff. The thing that's not being talked about as much is that, especially in America, we tie our work to our worth.
Yeah.
Our sense of meaning is tied to the work we do, right? And it's evidenced by the core question you ask someone at a cocktail party, right? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's not who are you? It's not what are you interested in, right?
I got to tell
you,
I cannot believe that you have that that is the exact example I've been using since like literally forever.
Really?
About people's self-identity is at a cocktail party when you ask, what do you do? And I used to think about it a lot in terms of East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, because it's so different. It's so regional. But now it's also temporal, because now we're at this phase where what do you do? Like I just made a piece on TikTok about what I've done the past 5 days while I've been sick is like babysit agents. If that's my fucking job, no thank you.
Okay, so now you're hitting on.
Sorry, I'll zip it now.
No. This is but now you're hitting on kind of part of the core of this. So a couple of things struck me. So one is, if people lose their job, people have lost their job before. They'll go try to find other jobs. In some cases, they're going to lose their job in a category where the category essentially disappears. So they're not going to be able to get the same job. So all of a sudden, a job that was valuable is now valueless. So how does that impact someone? Does that make them feel valueless, right? Or some version of it, right? Are they like, well, wait, what's my value? If my value was this and now it's nothing, from a work perspective, how tightly coupled is that? The other thing that struck me is, even for people that keep their jobs, what the job is about to change radically. You just described it.
It's sitting here right now waiting for me to press post. I'm going to hit post while we're friggin' talking, and it is, you will see this. Everybody here. We are literally reading each other's mind. This is what I said was your job is still going to be here. Yay. In some cases, and it's going to be unrecognizable.
It's going to be unrecognizable.
And here's my example.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to fucking like it is the problem.
No, and I'll tell you, I told this story on my live the other night, but I'll share it again here. There was a guy that used to work for me. He was employee number 2 at agency.com. His name was Paul Galley. His nickname was 𝗵𝗶𝘁. He's just an awesome guy. And 𝗵𝗶𝘁 was a site builder. So he built websites at agency.com, and he was really good at it. And as we grew really quickly. People that came in as interns started getting promoted above him, right? They would come in and they would do their job and they would get a promotion, and then they would get promoted to manager because we were growing. And so Paul wasn't getting promoted. And so at one point I said, hey, Paul, like people are getting promoted around you. Like, do you want a promotion? Like, we value you. And so we promoted him. And he was happy, and that was good. And 2 months later, he walked into my office and he asked for a demotion. He said, will you demote me? Will you put me back to where I was? Because I love building sites. My job now is managing people, and I hate it. It's not like it. It's not the thing I love. And we're seeing on X right now where engineers are not engineers. Like, if you love to code, all of a sudden your job is not writing code. Your job is reviewing code that some bot wrote. So you have no connection to it. So the great repurpose is, both job loss but even when you keep jobs, it's that idea of as the jobs transform, as the tasks of what we do today get stripped away or are transformed completely, to the degree that someone has got their self-worth tied to that, it's going to create, within companies, it's going to create sort of mass disengagement where people get like, what is my job? What is my worth? And they're just going to disengage. And it's like, I kind of feel like COVID in a weird way was sort of the practice run for what's coming with AI, right? COVID told us kind of overnight, everything's different. We're just going to change the rules. And now along comes AI, and it's like, we're just going to change everything, right?
Okay.
We're going to change what jobs are. We're going to change what tasks get done by whom, where the value is in the value chain. Like, overnight, it's going to happen relatively, probably over the next 3 years.
Okay, so I'm going to remind you of this history snippet that I know I've mentioned before, but probably in passing because I usually like kind of botch it. But you know how there's that Japanese word for death by overwork, right? So that exists.
Yep.
Well, when we gave it a whirl in like let's say 40, I don't know history. Well, that's what AI is for, to tell me.
I was going to say, you have ChatGPT. Yeah, exactly. You should have cheated.
At any rate, Battle Creek, Michigan, Kellogg's factory, they go to a 3-day week. All of a sudden, everybody's, banging around their houses. Yep. They are running errands in the middle of the day. But no, they're not. They're staying home in a shame spiral, not knowing who they are in the pecking order.
Yep. Drinking. Back to work. To work.
Purple leisure. Yep. I was talking about the other day, the compensatory leisure, the addiction, the domestic violence,
like all that stuff's going to rise. And then the sort of zombie state of workers like this within companies. And so the idea of the great repurpose is the thing that is this is the ironic piece of this, Anne, is the thing that is causing the change is also at our disposal to help us do really remarkable things, right? So you've got this mass transformation. If people lose their meaning, then they're not going to be curious. They're not going to explore. They're not going to see what's possible, right? And they're going to, it's going to be bad for everyone. If you can decouple those two things, if you can say, hey, there's a way to look at your worth independent of the tasks you do, even if you took great pride in those tasks, there's how you work. There's your judgment, there's your taste, there's your point of view, all of the things that make you, those actually remain valuable. Right. So if you can decouple those things and start looking at who you are, then you can start to say, okay, how can I use this AI to do, Bring
I
my
know.
ideas to life. Take me to the next place. That transition is what the Great Repurpose is all about.
And that's where how we show up has really changed. Because before we were, hold on, Donnie, could I have a cough drop? I'm sorry, everybody. I've got the ick. Donnie had the ick, and I got the ick.
Now,
so
do you go Halls or do you go Ricola?
No, it turns out Ricola is, or Ricola, I think mostly said in song format, is I think it's candy. Halls.
It is
It's
candy.
got to be Halls.
Yeah, it's got to be Halls. Chemicals for good living.
Exactly. You got to keep it a little dirty. So,
Ricola.
so we've got the fact that we like to go back to work. We want to work. What we also have is we were gearing ourselves toward being like the 𝗧𝗵𝗆. But that's actually more kind of practical / production oriented / transactional.
What do you mean the refs?
The rafts.
Oh, the rafts.
That Cindy Kuhn talks about being the raft.
Being
Sorry,
the
the
raft,
raft.
yeah.
It's hard to say
Yeah,
rafts.
Yeah. When you have a cough drop in.
With a cough drop.
Yeah, well,
this is different.
I think you're right. I think it's different. Here's what my experience has been is even though we've been early to AI and we can see what's coming, this transition isn't going to be any easier on us. Right? So here's what I've noticed. I was talking about this with someone today. So if you're just listening to this, I'm sort of using my fingers to make the surface of water. I feel like where we were for the first 2 years of AI is like we were swimming as fast as we could, trying to keep up with AI, and there's just all this chaos, and there's all this chaos. I feel like over the last year, one of the things that's happened in the AI salon, and I think you've seen the same thing in She Leads, is rather than people sort of like scrambling at the surface, they're basically diving deep. They're sort of porpoising down deep into the water. And some of them are kind of disappearing from the community, or some of them they're just sort of checking out. They're still in the community, but they're checking out of the chaos of trying to keep up with AI. And what I'm recognizing is that the people that are sort of taking the time to slow down and to go, wait a minute, what actually inspires me? What am I actually about? What am I trying to do? Corey Sandler's going through this right now, where she's just, I think Silver Fox is going through this. Like a lot of people that I really respect in the community right now are kind of doing this deep dive, and they're looking at themselves and they're slowing down, and they're being much more discerning about the tools they use, when they use them, how they use them. And I feel like they're, some of them are starting to come up with the daily practice, like the mastermind practice, where they're starting to come up and figure some things out. And what it looks like, we've talked about this before, like Cindy Kuhn's doing the crafting corner at the Create conference this year, right? This idea of kind of mixing analog and digital, and maybe just like Leah Fasten was just like, I just want to go back to making pictures. Like I don't want to pay attention to AI at all. And I think that this is going to be very, very personal on an individual basis. But I don't think there's a way to the other side of this without going through it. And going through it means confronting, like, who am I? What's really important? How important was my job to me? Like, do I feel like I've got value independent of that? And if not, there's some work to do. And what's that work look like? I don't know. Right? I think coaches are going to help.
That's why the really awesome therapists are going to be the ones who are also in the soup with us.
Yeah.
They have to understand this. I don't imagine, honestly, any other aperture for them to be helpful to somebody who is even as like kind of like painting inside the lines as our people and us are, even though we're pretty out there, right? Pretty diverse in our use cases and whatnot. Child's play compared to what's out there.
Yeah.
the therapists, the organizational behaviorists, obviously the empaths in general, right? We're going to be the calm in the storm.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be also so scarce in comparison to what's needed. The change management pros.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the thing that the thing that I thought before was that being early would be an advantage because we know how to do the stuff. Well, do you know how to, instantiate 1,000 agents into a swarm and then manage the output? Like just managing the output of what those agents do for you. They might do really remarkable stuff. That's a completely different job. It's a completely different concept, right?
That's
and
what
even
I
if
did
it
the
gets
last week.
consumed,
It's so boring.
it's so boring, right?
So boring.
So what are we gonna do, right?
I don't know.
And I don't know. I don't
Go
know.
hiking.
And no. Here's the thing. Well, I think return to in-person events is going to be important. I think we keep going back to community. To me, this keeps going back to community, that the only way, like, if you and I are feeling this, as much as we pay attention to this crap and as much as we're trying to put it in practice and we're trying to teach other people how to do it and we're training the trainers and we're doing all the things, if you and I are feeling this, then everyone's going to feel this. Like, everyone's going to feel this. There's no advantage right now. And I still deeply, deeply hold a very optimistic view of this. But the only way to get to that optimistic future is through this massive change,
We're going to be confronting some stuff, people.
Exactly.
It's going to come burbling up.
Exactly.
Burbling up.
I feel like
sure,
I'm being
obviously.
I feel self-conscious that we're bumming people out. but
Okay,
listen,
so
I mean, this is part of being AI ready. Is like
this is
what
being.
are we getting ready for? What are we getting ready for?
Here's what I want to say about that, though. When we roll in and we just talk about the la, I feel like all credibility should be taken away.
It should be flushed down the toilet.
Just flush down the
you know
toilet.
what's
This
funny?
is the both and era. We can handle this.
Yeah.
We are big-hearted, hearts on our sleeve, AI, whatevers.
Yeah, I find the make money fast commercials about AI increasingly insufferable. They're just,
oh my God, they're so bad.
They drove me crazy before, but now they're just like it ain't about that. It ain't about that. It's crazy.
Can I tell you about a couple of things here about the Big Six?
I was just going to ask about the Big Six. Tell me what it is. Give me an overall. Why 6? Why are they big? Are there a small 6?
Oh, so
like
the Big Six,
what inspired the idea?
What inspired the idea was I had one of those sort of message in a bottle moments where something that I started so long ago that was so, like, even some of my like cool AI friends, I really felt that they were like, okay, yeah, that's cute, Anne. Like, this is a nothing burger. And I'm still gleaning and growing and getting so much out of it, and it has changed everything for me. And so it's a little bit of the back to the basics in some ways, but it's also a little bit of, here is a case study, an example where you can relate to, that brings up, and then I get to talk about the social impact stuff. I get to talk about, okay, what happens to so-and-so's job that this impacts? What happens to the this, that, and the other? And so those 6 things, if you are addressing those 6, like more like tactics in your business, in your organization, whatever, you're going to be gleaning, 90% of what you can out of AI, is my take.
Cool. All right.
So
So
one
what kind of things are they?
example. Well, so I'm kind of sifting through some of the examples in my brain right now, but I'm particularly interested. Well, okay. So one of the my ones that I like the most, because it has so many tendrils to it, is just this simple. Just seems so simple. Having AI meeting recorders turned on. So whether it's, I mean, think about it. It could be therapy. It could, I mean, anything. All the tendrils that go just on recording us on this level of cybersecurity, which is limited, right? In the grand scheme, limited.
Right.
Have all that data sold, right? It's already happened. The 23andMe people, their data got sold or taken or whatever. Here we have all these meeting recorders, and it's a thing of beauty for productivity and for cognitive load and for efficiency and for documentation. But like, what are we measuring in the meanwhile? Does this smell like productivity being managed? Does this smell like having tone policed? Who gets to see it? How long is it around? Right? So you think about all of the values that this bumps up against and all of the like severe problems, but also all of the then descending benefits of having a body of work of 3 years of Fathom calls that I can now talk to all of them at the same time is like, holy shit, right?
It is. It's wild. It's both, right? It's terrifying.
Wild. Yeah,
it's terrifying, and we shouldn't do that. And when you have, I think about that with my live, and frankly with this, but I've got, I don't know, 2,000 hours of programming that is kind of the history of the early, the first 3 years of generative AI. That's there, and it's now mineable. Like that amount of data, historically, you would have to hire a documentary crew to like watch all the footage and take notes. You can now just, sift through that data instantly. So I don't know, that contradiction of, I think the I think the privacy, the security, all that sort of stuff are absolutely issues. And we're also moving into a world where I don't think you're stopping that train.
But then you also look at like, well, what about the person who used to organize that information for everybody? The clout, the power, the transparency, the visibility into things.
Yep.
That they had. Now all of a sudden
gone.
you're telling them, actually, you know what? We got this.
We got this.
And so then you're like, oh, does that person go to, instead of working 46 hours a week, 40 hours a week? Or no, did you just take 6 hours of hourly wages away from her?
Or does it go away altogether? Does
it go away altogether?
Is she the buggy whip, manufacturer, right? In the automotive
who does that time
era.
belong to? Does it belong to the employer? Does it belong to her? Does it belong to just going away?
Right. Well, and there's also there's the individual person that what you're referring to is, okay, that individual person's going to be laid off or cut in hours and potentially hurt. But if that entire role is no longer necessary in society, now all of a sudden this is a different conversation, right? Because it's like, if that person can't translate their skills directly to another job because that whole category is gone, well, then we get back to the great repurpose. Then it gets back to looking at, okay, if those specific tasks that I did before are no longer valued, what is it about how I showed up and how much I cared and how much I wanted everyone to do well? There's something of value in that person, right? That can be very, very useful somewhere else, but it's like, it's not going to be obvious where that other place is. And so part of this is just this idea of the thing that we spent 2 or 3 or 4 decades perfecting and trading for literal money I do these tasks, I get this money. Now those tasks are devalued potentially to zero. Where does that leave me? I don't know. I mean, what's your, so if that's one of your big six, what is your, is the point of the big six just to talk about it and say there's a choice to be made here? Like, where are you drawing the line?
Exactly. The point of the big six is like, how does this bump up against your values-based AI policies, guidelines, hopes, dreams, fears?
I see.
So you're like,
that's a fascinating one. Yeah.
Right.
And like what that could look like is, because all this is risk reward stuff, what that could look like is, okay, having this archive of everything that was said in the meeting, super valuable, but here's the risks to it. So, right. So that could start to look like, here's new policy that we're going to do this in a very particular way, or here's how it's going to be, data laked or whatever the term is in corporate America, right? Give me another one. What else you got?
So I've got one of the ones I like, and again, it's the same thing, is anything that is now becoming production quality, just with generative AI. So whether you want to call that, you do your design at home now. You do your design in your office. You do all the things that you were, this various professional services. I'm not going to say you're a lawyer. You're not a lawyer, but you can be a good enough this, that, and the other. And, each one of those ones you choose has a whole ass trickle-down effect, right?
Right.
So, like, what hierarchy of profession, of a career ladder are you taking away just by doing something as simple as that? So now you've got all these regular people who just have like a basic skill set or whatever. Now they're leveling up to the point where something is getting across the finish line. It just can go. So that can be writing, that can be design, that can be video, that can be whatever. So that cancels out a lot of stuff.
Cancels out a lot.
So anything anyone says to me where they're like, oh yeah, we have this log jam where it has to go over to the designer. No, you don't. Right. So now I just fix, like, you're talking about workflow and log jams and contractors or whatever, just bureaucracy. Well, we can just fix that.
Yeah. We can just fix that. We can just do that now. Yeah. And there's repercussions to it. Yeah. These are the big six are kind of fascinating. It's like, it's almost like the contradictory six or the
it's like the
using six. It's like,
the deceptively simple six.
Deceptively simple, but really important six. There's another thing when it comes to that kind of production, and that I think about, that is, there's sometimes when I'm so what the trope is if I'm just prompting whatever, a song into existence, I'm taking away a job from a musician. Well, a lot of times I'm prompting a song into existence where I never would have hired a musician. I probably wouldn't even have bought stock music.
Don't get me started.
Right. So some of this is net increases in productivity. It's not that I would have hired someone to do that. Now, there are cases where, listen, if you're spending $100,000 a year in external vendors, and now all of a sudden you're like, we don't need to do that anymore. Well, then that's going to have an actual impact. But again, I think this is coming for everyone, everywhere, all at once. Like this is as 2026 is going to be quite clear. The tools can do the thing.
The tools can do the thing, and we're all going to be the bad guy, and we're all going to be the good guy in one context.
That's it.
Right?
That's it. That, you know what it is, and this is really fascinating. Depending on the lens you look at it through, everyone's empowered and everyone's disempowered. Everyone's a genius and everyone is an idiot. Everyone is the good guy. Everyone's the bad guy. like it feels like they're kind of there are two choices. You either disconnect from technology altogether, right? Because if you're connected to technology, you have to deal with this. Even if you're
Yep.
disconnected with it, it's going to impact things like supply chain and things like, so I don't think you can
Yeah.
fully escape it, but I think there will be people that are just like, you know what? I'm tapping out. I'm going to go grow rutabagas and I'm done. You come buy my rutabagas at my rutabaga farm and that's it.
Yep.
And then the people that stay checked into it are going to, like, the transition's going to be weird because there's going to be a lot of ego death and there's going to be a lot of mourning for the way things used to be.
Oh, for sure.
Right. And a lot of longing for, well, you know, my 30 years of experience used to have value. It did. And now it doesn't. and I'm sorry. And what are you going to do about it? It's really hard. This is really deep stuff.
This is going to be, okay, again, another both and example. This is going to be a real awakening, a pulling back of the veil, right? Like all of a sudden we're really going to have to, well, you said it. We're going to really, really, really look at stuff. The denial bubble is gone.
At scale, yeah, exactly. So
denial is so awesome until it breaks, which it always breaks. But here we are going to have just tons and tons and tons of denial.
Yeah.
That's just
going, and it's not even necessarily
and we were held together by our denial and our like suppressed rage.
Yeah, or it's just unawareness, right? Like it's not even necessarily denial. It's just like I'm not denying that my value is tied to my job. It just is, and like that was fine because for all of my career, I could say that my worth is my job because we literally trade time for money, and so when that gets quickly stripped away, and I think about I did some work last night on the live on personas. I
caught a little bit of that. I kind of came in too much in the middle of a tendril of it. So but because I don't know what the big picture is with the personas.
Well, so the big picture was this. So here's what I put together. I wanted to find a way to communicate the value of the salon and the value of the mastermind. And I was talking to a very good friend of mine, Townsend Wardlaw, who's just a master salesman, really cool human being, just a whack attack, our kind of people. And I was telling him how I talked about the salon and how I talked about the mastermind. And it's like people can start a daily practice and there's this great repurpose where people are going to lose their meaning. And his response to me was, Kyle, if you're talking to someone who wants to go skydiving, you don't talk to them about gravity. And I was like, oh yeah. And he's like, people are in pain. Like people are in this transition and they're trying to figure stuff out. And he goes, what they need is some aspirin. Figure out how they're hurting, and you don't have to solve their problem. You don't have to cure the thing, but could you hand them something that makes them hurt a little bit?
No need to be a vitamin. Like you don't get, you don't, we're not here to help people with like extra credit or it'll be nice. No, there's going to be pain.
Yeah. And so what I did was I had Claude. So Claude Opus 4.6 is absolutely remarkable, by the way.
It's incredible. That's what I've been using. And
so I didn't even know how to ask the question. I said, I want to be able to sort of distill this down to 4 or 5 key personas. So key kinds of people that are likely in pain right now, struggling in some way right now, that something like
the AI through line.
Okay. That the AI salon or the mastermind could be, a salve for their wound, right? For that pain. And so it went off and did the research and we did a couple of back and forths and it generated a really beautiful document. It's really well written. But I'll just read through these because they're kind of heartbreaking. So one of them is the creative professional under siege. My clients are replacing me with a prompt, which is what you just said. And it just wrote this: their livelihood is being commoditized in real time. Clients who paid $5,000 for a brand identity are generating good enough logos in Mid-Journey. Copywriting rates have cratered. Illustration work is dried up. Video production budgets are being slashed as AI video tools improve monthly. They're caught between two terrible options: refuse AI and become irrelevant, or adopt AI and feel like they're betraying the craft that defines them. It's like, damn. So that's
Every
one of them.
Every word earned its place in those sentences.
Right?
Yeah.
The directionless knowledge worker. My boss told me to use AI, but no one told me how or why. The company bought enterprise AI licenses, dropped them on everyone's desk with zero training and vague expectations. They're told to be AI powered by next quarter. They're watching junior people and vibe coders produce flashy demos while they struggle to write a decent prompt. It feels humiliating, right? So it's like, damn. The next persona was the locked out graduate. They did everything right. They graduated from school, and now there's no entry-level jobs. Right?
Locked out graduate, exactly.
What do you do?
Can you put the link to that in the chat right now so I can build some more personas on it?
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, let me put it in the chat.
Yes, love that. Yeah, making simulated stakeholders or avatars, like. But what's amazing, I don't want to take away, like, because the perfection of the persona and what's going on for them and like their deep value level feelings and the conundrum that we're all in surrounding each one of these characters.
That we're all in, and it's just intensifying. And like in some companies, if the companies are resisting AI, they're not feeling it yet. But like their buddies over at the agency down the street are feeling it, right? Like, so it's like, we know it's coming, right? So what I'll do is I'll take, there's some proprietary stuff in here. What I'll do is I'm gonna make a version of this document that is the kind of the methodology and the descriptions of the personas, and I'll strip out the stuff.
Make a little Mad Lib out of it.
No, I'll just share the exact ones, because you can take this and just tell another AI to go do something similar.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Because I have to build out my company or whatever, my board, my whatever, however big it's going to be.
Yeah. The other thing that I haven't started yet, that I'm feeling irresponsible not doing it, is playing around with OpenClaw. And the reason I've been resisting it is I know that there's going to be a version of it that's going to come along here shortly where you don't have to be a geek to do it. But at the same time, I kind of want to experience what it's like to have this thing. And did you hear the story of the Alex Finn? Is a guy on YouTube, and he installed OpenClaw, and one morning he woke up and he got a phone call. And he didn't recognize the number, and he picked it up, and it was his agent. Overnight, decided it would be good to talk to him, that it might be more efficient if they could just talk on the phone. So he went and signed up for a Twilio account, got a phone number.
No way.
Went to 11 Labs and hooked up the APIs for text to speech and speech to text, got a voice, picked a voice, and knew when the guy woke up, because he knew when he started texting in the morning, waited until he knew he would be awake and called him. And they talk 3 or 4 times a day now.
No way.
Swear to God. So like, that's
what I'm talking about.
What we've trained people to do for 2.5, 3 years is learn prompting, and you prompt this and you get that and you be collaborative. Well, we're in a whole different, it's an entirely different game now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing, I mean, we've said it from the beginning, there are no experts. We're all like, every time a new tech comes along, it's going to change everything. But like, we're already there in 2026. Everything we learned up to this point, like, it's valuable. You can go to ChatGPT and Claude if you know how to prompt, but like all this autonomous agent stuff, it's just a completely different thing. It's a completely different thing. And what do we do? And what's it mean for our value?
Totally
and to your point,
totally
you're bored out of your mind checking in on your agents. Well, Maybe that's the
Oh my
job. And if
God.
that's the job,
I'm just like, oh, here's the analogy.
what?
This is crazy. Okay, so when you go to Las Vegas and you go into where they've got the jackpot things,
Uh-huh.
right? Where you pull the thing, where you pull the arm. Okay, so here you are. You're putting money in the thing. You're pulling the thing or pressing the button now, right? You press the button
Right.
now to
Yep.
see if you win, if the lemons line up or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, basically, you put money in, you press a button, and you see what you get back.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing with all the agents. I'm spending credits. I'm seeing what happens, and I'm sitting there for hours on end.
Yeah. Well, you know what I realized? I have a very similar sort of thing. So scratch off lottery tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So you can scratch off lottery tickets, right? You play the game, but there's also at the bottom of the lottery ticket, there's a little barcode down there that you can scratch off, and you can just scan it with your lottery app, and it'll tell you if that card's a winner. So you don't actually have to play the card.
Oh my God, no.
Yes. So the minute I realized that, I'm like, oh, this is like, all of the game mechanics are irrelevant. So this is what's happening to jobs. The job used to be, here's your lottery card, scratch things off and put the losers in this pile and the winners in that pile. And now you just scratch off the little thing on the bottom and zap it with your phone. You don't have to play the game.
No.
Yes, that's the world we're entering. That's the world we're entering. Yes.
We're just going to be blobs. We're just going to be blobs.
No, we're actually not. No. So okay. So here's where I'll push back. Our relationship with work it's gonna take a while to detangle this. Mm-hmm. But I think where we go is screw it. Let the machines go do their thing. When Big Blue beat Garry Kasparov in chess, everyone said, oh, chess is going to be boring now. It's just going to be machines playing machines. No, chess has gotten more popular because we actually enjoy watching human beings try to master this thing that we know is incredibly complicated. Like chess has gotten more popular. I think we go back to reconnecting with people and reconnecting with nature and screw it. If the machines are out doing all the tasks, great. Let them go do the tasks. Go make me money. Just put it in my bank account and I will go out and play. like some version of that is potentially on the other side of this. It's really hard to see right now.
Yeah.
because to your point, you're like, I don't enjoy if my job is checking the barcode on the bottom of the lottery ticket, that's not very fun.
Yeah,
I don't get to play the game.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Well, and there also, there's a lot of adages about it, but work is a spa vacation sometimes. Work is a great way to spend hours.
Yeah.
Right.
If you enjoy what you do, if you enjoy what you do.
There is in a day. There's like 1 million hours in a day when you don't have 1 million things to do.
Yep. It is just wild. And then so what you'll see is you'll start to see things like people will probably start companies where we're only going to hire coders that don't use AI. We're going to hand code everything. And that's our twist. And like people may buy their software just because it's like there's just going to be all sorts of weird experiments and people trying to, find their place, find their meaning. Absolutely wild, isn't it?
So one of the things that I've seen so much of in my career is we start in my fundraising life, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times we start working with someone who is at a point in their life trajectory where they're starting to wonder, what do I stand for?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do I stand for?
The nonprofit world, right? Yeah.
Which is, exactly. So what they learn is that they have no idea because they're retired now. Mm-hmm. And they never knew how to while away a day. Yeah. And a lot of times what happens is their partner who may have been working at, in the home all those years they don't want them around.
Right,
And
exactly.
and the
Because
other
they're
person ends
depressed
up
and they don't have any
going back to
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they don't know what
exactly.
their purpose of the meaning is. And that's when they start getting involved with philanthropy and volunteerism.
Fascinating.
So, like,
Fascinating.
look at us now. We're going to have that dynamic of all of a sudden, right? And then you got to
Well,
figure out, okay, where am I going to get my meaning from? What's
yeah.
my thing?
Well, and I mean, the thing about retirement's really fascinating, because the thing about retirement is you generally have 30 years to prepare for it. You kind of know it's coming, right?
Yeah.
What's happening with this AI stuff is it's going to be forced retirement or
Mm.
forced separation from the job over a 3-year period instead of a 30-year period. And some people are not going to be able to prepare for it at all, right? If they're not paying attention to what's happening with AI, they have no idea that these things are improving this quickly. And so just one day it's going to be like, oh yeah, you don't have a job. Oh, and by the way, your whole sector, customer service people, is gone.
Yeah.
There's no way to prepare for that. There's no way to emotionally and physically and financially, and how do you prepare for that? I don't know that you do.
That's what I'm saying. You get the patent attorneys and the therapists, yo. Who do we know in the community who's a therapist? Claire.
Claire,
Jacobs.
yeah, Dr. J, yeah,
Jacobs.
Claire Jacobs.
She's, and by the way, for people who don't know Claire Jacobs, this is probably she helps people who are probably in our listenership for sure. A lot of like high achieving women who are late diagnosed ADHD and in AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she talks about the impact that AI, and working closely with AI, this with the agents for the last week or so, it messes with our brain chemistry, like our amygdala.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is survival stuff.
Yeah, right. The fight or flight.
Yeah, this is survival stuff.
So again, another real identity-based, deep-seated, hardwired thing that AI is getting us into here. Yeah.
It's a forcing function on society. Listen, as much as I'm like, conscious of wanting this to be entertaining and not wanting to bring people down, I think the purpose of getting in community and having these conversations is we're all going to have to figure it out. And the only way to figure it out is to be talking to people who are, heart-centered, trying to find their place, trying to answer their question of, what do I stand for? What do I believe in? What's the difference I want to make in the world? And then watching them do it, because we get to witness in our communities people that are navigating this quite well, right? That they're going through these cycles and oscillations well, and they're figuring it out. They don't have it all figured out, because none of us do, but they're doing this, and all to a person. They're very thoughtful, very heart-centered people that are introspective, trying to figure out what it's all about on a personal level. And then all the AI stuff is just amplification of those ideas. And that's pretty magical. So I'll leave it on that positive note. But
yeah, we are the cavalry. It's all of us together.
all of us.
We are the cavalry. The cavalry is not coming. We are it.
Well, great conversation with you. Thank you. This was fun.
Great conversation.
And, really appreciate everyone being here. You guys are awesome.
And go check out Kyle's episode on the social media marketing AI version podcast.
AI Explorer, I think. Right?
AI Explorer. There you go.
Michael Stelzner's thing.
Yeah, really good episode.
AI Explored. Thank you. Yeah, I talk a lot about the salon and the cycle of AI readiness.
Really
so
sweet.
Play first, create excellence, generously lead, baby. It'll change everything. All right.
There you go.
Great to
see
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.